We've had a cold snap here, and my battery started to give out on the Mule. This battery, it's about 4 years old now. It's the original battery that came with it. So I went ahead and pulled it out and did some testing on it. And yeah, it's at the end of its life. So I could plug it into my battery tender and keep it going a little longer. It would go, it would start. I'd be able to start it every morning. But when I'm out there and it's parked for a little bit, it quickly degrades. And then I had a couple instances where I was worried I wasn't going to make it back. So I definitely wanted to replace it, and I'm going to do that today, show you how I did that and what I chose to replace it with. So here's a battery that I took out of the unit. It's that standard YUASA. It's a 14 amp hours and has 190 cold cranking amps. What I chose to replace it with is the same battery. So I got this YUASA here on Amazon. It's pretty affordable. It's the exact same model and everything for the battery. Only difference was the original here shows that it was made in the USA, but this new one, Indonesia. So same exact battery, just comes from a different place now. This one's made in Indonesia, but it's got all the same specs, same 190 cold cranking amps on it. But this is very light because as they ship this to you, it's not going to have any acid in it. So it comes dry, and that's why I bought this one. You can buy those AGM batteries that are the same size and that will work, and they're already sealed. And you don't have to do anything, just plug it in and bolt it on. But you don't know how long that's been sitting in the shipping or in the factory or in a warehouse waiting to be bought. This one here, you could store this indefinitely because it's just full of lead right now. And when I go ahead and take these caps off and put acid in it, then it'll become a new birthday for this battery, and that's when it's going to start its life. So I feel like I'm going to get more out of it if I fill it with the acid myself. So I'll do that in this video. Getting the acid's easy. This was only about $10 for this. You get about a quart, and that's about what you need for these types of batteries. It comes here with the things you need to do it. So you're going to cut this little top of this tube off with an X-Acto knife or something, and then you're going to use this little plastic tube here, slide over the top, and then each of these caps here, they're not threaded on. They're just popped in there. Just use a little pair of pliers, just slide them out, and just a little cap comes out like that. And there's no threads or anything on these. I just pop in. But I'll take this and I'll slide it down in here. This little tube is just the right size to fit in there. And then we'll go ahead and we'll add acid to each of these cells all the way across so it lines up between these two lines. And might be able to see through the clear surface here, but if not, you just take a little flashlight like this. And if I shine that behind on each cell, you can definitely see through there. We'll be able to make sure that we got the acid level at the right height here between the two limits. All right, so we got some eye protection and some nitrile gloves. And first thing I'll do is I'm gonna open up. You got this little cap here at the top. I'm just gonna cut that top piece off. Slide this over. Pliers here, and just pop these out. All right, then we're just going to pour this in. I'm going to start here on the right. And I can see the level coming up here with the bubbles. And you see the bubbles here. I'm just below the line. I'm going to get a piece of cardboard to put underneath the battery in case I make a mess. All right, we've got them all filled up to the top line. And I'm going to go ahead and put the plugs back in. So now that the acid's all settled in on the battery, I'm going to go ahead and put it on a trickle charger. I'm going to use this old Battery Tender Plus. This only puts out 1.25 amps, so it's a slow trickle charge. and it knows how to regulate what's going on with the battery as it gets charged up. So I'm going to go ahead and connect that up and let this sit overnight, get it a nice good charge, and then we'll go ahead and install this in the morning. Something I'm going to also add to the battery when I install it in the Mule is this battery monitor. So this is an ANCEL I think it's a BM200. Yeah, BM200 Pro. What this does, it's going to allow you to get different readings off the battery, such as the voltage, the current temperature, state of charge, cranking voltage, and the state of health of the battery, all on this one screen. It communicates with the battery monitor over 433 megahertz. So it's got an automatic connection. You don't have to do anything for it to connect to it. And then on the unit itself, if you look down at the battery, you'll have LEDs that indicate good on state of health, a low charge condition, temperature too high, those kind of things. Charging system, cranking system. So this will light up LEDs on its own. When it's not moving for a period of time, the LEDs will go out. This is something I'm going to attach to the battery and have it, giving me these readings. So when I'm parked in the garage, I can just take a quick look and see the state of health of the battery as it's sitting in the unit. So let's get this installed back in the Mule and see how it all works. Another thing I like to do is I take the bolts that go into these batteries like this, and then I just draw that up ahead of time before I put this into the Mule, so that bolt is like up, and then I'm going to fill it around the bottom there with hot glue so the bolts will stay in place. When I take the screw out, the bolts don't come out. Alrighty, drop that new battery down in. Okay, got everything installed. Got the battery monitor in place. Got the clamp holding the battery down. Terminal is connected. All the wiring is up. We're in there nice and tight. So we're going to go ahead and crank it up and see how we do. Let's go ahead and crank it up and see how it turns over. All right, everything looks good. Turned over real quick. Real happy with that new battery. I hope that helps. Hey, hope this video was useful to you. Learn a little bit more about considerations when you're swapping out the battery in your Mule. Hope this information was helpful, and as always, I hope you have a great day.